What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And today, brand new COLISEUM debuted on Global. Komurasaki is now here, and she's a pretty goddamn good unit. Although I must say, it is a relatively difficult COLISEUM, and definitely the most recent batch that have come out being Kuro, Django, Krieg, and Gin, and then Shanks crew as well. Those three characters in particular are very, very good for this COLISEUM. So if you have those guys, this COLISEUM is ridiculously easy, as well as the new Buggy raid that came out. If you have him fully maxed out, also makes this COLISEUM very, very easy. But before we get into the actual COLISEUM, I want to go ahead and talk about the Komurasaki. Now, I've actually completely maxed her out. I haven't gotten the limit break orbs yet. I still need to go ahead and do that. But remember, it is actually 5 times skill up right now for the next 21 hours as of me recording this video. So news time tomorrow, the 5 times skill up is going to be leaving. So if you want to max her out, this is the best time to do it. And obviously you can farm the limit break orbs later, but she needs 15 skill up. So make sure to get the enough copies to max her skill, of course, and then you can, work on other things later. But I would suggest farming this first to get this done, because this is the best time to get it done, right? As for Komurasaki, though, she is a Psi Cerebral Slasher. Her captain effect is a 2.75 attack, 1.2 health to Cerebral and Slasher, and then heals 5 times her recovery at the end of each turn. For free-to-play wise, it's just average, okay, pretty typical for this unit. 12 turn max cooldown, and after you max her limit break with the orb, she gets 1 additional cooldown, so she goes down to 11. Something to also note here, this unit has double special activation, so once it's fully maxed out, you'll be able to launch her special twice per turn, or twice in the same turn, basically. But what she does, it's very, very good. It reduces all enemies' damage reduction, which is the Rainbow Shield, and damage threshold by 2 turns, and then reduces the crew's bind and attack down duration by 2 turns, heals the crew by 20% of their max HP, and then adjacent orbs are changed into matching, and it does get rid of block orbs too, so the block orbs that are adjacent to her are changed into matching. So this unit is very good, because remember, as we said, with double special activation, removing 4 turns of Rainbow Shield, 4 turns of Threshold, 4 turns of attack down, and 4 turns of bind on your team. Such an exceptional unit. So a great utility unit all round that I would suggest, as I said, max this character out. As for her crewmate abilities, she actually resists 2 turns of special reverse, and then also has a stat boosting one, but it's interesting that she resists special reverse, but she doesn't actually reduce your character's cooldowns. I think it would have been awesome if she had that on top of what she already does, but can't complain. She does have a support effect as well to Psi units, adding 11% of her recovery to that unit. So the support effect doesn't really matter, but getting her special maxed out, as I said, is very good for utility, healing, orb changing. A fantastic COLISEUM unit that you should definitely focus in on in this period of time. But without further ado, let's get into the actual COLISEUM against Komurasaki. First thing is first, let's talk about the first round, which is against Bonekichi. First of all, in stage 4, though, you've got Onami with about 1.8 million HP, 1.7-ish, and her preemptive has delay immunity. She makes perfects a little bit more difficult to hit, which is going to be annoying for the final stage. She also paralyzes you for 4 turns and gives you a full board of block orbs, and if you use an orb changing special, she's going to make your type slots badly matching for 3 turns and also shuffle your orbs around, but she doesn't really do that much. But Raid Cracker is perfect here because he changes your orbs as well as gives you a beneficial orb enabling buff, so it counteracts the badly matching slots that Nami would have given you. And of course, Sanji and Judge here are really good for giving you a boost as well as removing that paralysis. And then the final stage against Bonekichi, he has just under 3 million HP, and his preemptive has delay immunity and all poison immunity, but you can still reduce his defense if you do choose to do so. And then he has a perfect barrier, which is where the difficult perfects becomes a little bit more annoying, but it's not too bad. He also will despair you for 6 turns and give you attack down for 5 turns, and this is where Ambush Linlin is so good, because she can remove the despair and the attack down, and then from there you can just do what you need to take down the Bonekichi. Round 2 is a little bit more challenging against Orobi, but on stage 4 we have Sangoro with just under 3 million HP. He has a delay immunity, and he also applies normal attacks only, and he also has an end of turn heal which heals 700,000 HP per turn, and he also will buff his own attack for 98 turns, and also special reverses your crew, which is why I'm using the Kizuna Okiku to reduce the special cooldowns back. And every single turn he's going to keep summoning back those mob characters, and I believe leave those mob characters if they attack. I think they despair your crew because those are typically what those female pirate characters do. So pretty annoying to deal with, right? But then you move on to the final stage against Orobi, who has 4 million HP, and her preemptive has a really odd effect where any Dex unit will have no color affinity, which means that because she's quick, Dex characters don't deal super effective damage against her. It's pretty annoying, which is why we're using Bullet here as the friend captain, because he will give type advantage no matter what, so it does make a pretty big difference there. Also, you get a small attack and orb boost, and she removes your beneficial effects before she applies that, so you can't like bring a high attack boost into this stage, so you have to have characters on your team that are able to remove those effects to make it a little bit easier getting through here, which is why we've got the Treasure Map Big Mom and also the April Fool's Zoro, because his special removes beneficial effects and then applies an attack and orb boost for your Strength Dex quick units. So for this team, we've got the Akanu Fuji Captain, which will obviously give us some matching slots when we use his special with the friend captain Bullet, and then we've also got the Stampede Sanji we used a little earlier, and then TM Big Mom is going to be really good for the revive, because once you kill the Robin, she will revive with 2 million health, and then once again applies the attack and orb boosting effect, so which is why we have the Big Mom to remove the effect once again, get the G slots, get all the boosts that you need in order for Bullet to take down Robin from there. So now we can talk about the final boss stage against Komurasaki. Stage 3, you have Onami and you also have Bonekichi, and there's lots of bad things here. They both have barriers, they empty out your slots, and then at the end of that turn, of each turn, or every 2 turns, they actually apply non-beneficial effects. So on the side of the screen, you'll be able to see what kind of effects each of those characters apply, but you want to take them down relatively quickly because those effects that they apply are just kind of annoying. But then you got Stage 4 against Orobi. You will have to deal with the damage immunity, which is where Raid Buggy is very good to remove the damage immunity and delays the enemies. You're being despaired for 8 turns, so with sockets and using the Kuro rare recruit that came out with the latest batch, he removes that and then also applies a delayed conditional boost. So the Buggy and the Kuro are really great units to use on this stage, as well as providing you those full board of matching slots with the slots that you are given. And then also Robin does become a strength unit, which is where becoming the quick version of Shanks' crew helps you clear that out a lot easier. And if you use any attack or orb boost on this stage, she removes your beneficial effects and applies 4 turns of paralysis. Very annoying to deal with. And then once you kill Robin, she's going to go ahead and apply 11 turns of chain coefficient reduction. So you have to have some sort of chain lock on the final stage or some way to remove a lot of chain coefficient reduction because that is going to ruin your damage actually quite a lot. And then the final boss stage is going to be against Kiyoshiro and Komurasaki. Now the interesting thing here is that you don't actually have to kill Komurasaki. All you have to do is kill Kiyoshiro, and then once you do that, the Komurasaki will actually just leave, right? So you just have to kill Kiyoshiro, and he has 18.2 million HP. The preemptive attack, they have 4 turns of immunity. You can see Komurasaki has a barrier, and you are target locked to Kiyoshiro as well. Also, there's an enemy attack up, enemy defense up as well. Your attack down for 4 turns, and also 4 turns of special bind. So this is where you want to have someone to remove the defense up. You can't just reduce their defense because of the immunity buff that they have. So you literally have to bring someone that removes the increased defense. And then you need someone to remove attack down. So COLISEUM Oars is very good because he removes the defense and also the attack up, but the attack down, sorry, and the defense up on the enemy. But you do need to deal with special bind, which is where the friend captain Shanks crew is going to be really good here, because no matter what, if you've got at least one of them as a friend captain, you do not need to worry about the special bind whatsoever. Definitely makes a humongous difference in this fight. The secondary team is a Douglas Bullet team. We've got a couple of characters here that are very useful. First of all, I must say with this specific team, we are actually using a support unit that's very key. We are using the Whitey Bay support on Okiku, because Okiku actually removes Bind and Despair with her special, and with double special activation plus the support effect, we can remove all the despair that gets inflicted here with the sockets, of course, so makes a pretty big difference. Bobbin's great for the final stage to remove the defense up on the enemy, and then we've also got the Buggy Raid unit to remove the damage immunity off of the enemy, as well as doing some pretty nice orb manipulation too. And of course, Shanks crew friend captain is huge for this, and we use using the Treasure Map Big Mom once again, who is just an exceptional character for running Bullet as your captain, right? So it makes a big difference having access to someone like Treasure Map Big Mom. But all in all, this team synergizes relatively well, even though when you are using Shanks crew and you're in the Psy variation, of course, Bullet does not boost Psy characters. But it doesn't really make that much of a difference, because remember, Shanks crew is boosted in this Coliseum, so he himself gets a little bit of a boost out of that. And then when you become the quick variation, all hell breaks loose. You just deal so much damage, and it's not even a big problem. So this team is actually very solid as long as you have the applicable units. The only other summonable unit aside from Bullet that you'll need is going to be the Okiku, and then obviously the max support of the Whitey Bay. But you don't need that. If you don't have Whitey Bay, or if you don't have Okiku with max double special, you can use like version 1 Legend Rayleigh. He's a perfect unit. He'll remove the Despair. That's not going to be a big deal, so you can just use that instead. So yeah, it's a relatively easy team to build, and if you have the applicable units, it's going to be very, very good. The next team is running a Snakeman team, and once again, you'll see some very common characters that we've used previously. We're using Rare Recruit Bobbin as well, for the same reason why we used him in the previous team, to remove the defense up on the final stage. Raid Buggy once again, in tandem with the Kuro and Django dual character, to give us the full board of slots and the delayed conditional boost, removing the damage immunity, which is great. And then we're also using the Weevil character. Weevil's great because he can give us a 2x attack boost on the final stage. Shanks crew friend captain, of course. And then Snakeman as the main captain here, because number one, he's a rainbow captain, which is good. And then when you use his special, when he is the captain, you get lots of beneficial slots, so you don't really have to worry too much about that. And of course, Shanks crew carrying very hard with his ability to remove the special bind, and also providing that huge chain locking effect, which is very, very key for this fight on the final boss stage. The final team in this video is a pretty obscure team, and I really wouldn't suggest running this team at all, honestly, but it does get the job done. It just is a little bit of an obscure team, because it does take quite a long time to actually clear. So we're using Chopper as the captain here, which will enable us to get, obviously, more cotton candy. But the thing here is that it does involve a lot of Sugo Fest exclusive characters. And the thing here is we do use Shanks special on stage 4 against this Robin right here. But then after we kill Robin, we are actually stalling for his special again, so we can use it once again on the final boss stage. So I don't really suggest running this team, but it does do pretty good job, I would say. And I'd say if you have the applicable units, you could use it if you want, but this is just a throw-in team that I decided to put in. I did see this one on Game With, by the way, so shout out to some of those Japanese players for this one. So if you are looking for cotton candy and you have plenty of time to spare, then I guess you could use it. But again, if you're farming for cotton candy, you shouldn't be farming the most recent Colosseums because they are relatively difficult. If you really want cotton candy, you should farm some of the older, easier Colosseums so you can do that quicker and just get a lot more cotton candy much faster, right? So I just decided to throw this one in there just because I know some people might ask about it. But either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. That's going to wrap up this video today. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it, and if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.